Alright guys, g'day, welcome back. If you're new here, grab that dragonstone in the bottom right hand corner of your screen. If you are new here though, this is the tail end of the Super Saiyan 4 feature week. Super Saiyan 4 Vegito Xeno feature week. I have been featuring him all week as he is approaching 2 years old about this time next month if you're watching this the day it releases. He came out in November 2020. I am recording this in the middle of October 2022. And frankly, if you've watched any of the showcases that I've done throughout the week, he needs an EZA. He has fallen off a cliff in terms of the newer content that we have around. I think there's a little bit of a reason why, and we'll go through that in a second. But this is my concept EZA. This is not real. There's nothing about this that is real. It's just what I thought would be fun to give him, to update him and keep him a little bit modern. Let me know what you think of it. What changes you would make, what maybe you would do for an EZA if it's entirely different to what I did. Obviously on the right hand side here, links and categories haven't changed. I've upped his leader skill to 180%. I mean, he's key 3, 170 across the board to start with, so there's not really a lot you can do other than just give him the 180. I think 200 is probably a little bit extreme, and adding another category hasn't been done before to the best of my knowledge. So I didn't want to do that either. Though adding something like time travelers or even Giant 8 Power would have been, Giant 8 Power specifically probably would have been the way to go. That way you can include all the other Super Saiyan 4s that aren't in crossover. But hey, yeah, that's what I would do. But I mean, it's not necessarily realistic. But I mean, this concept is a mix between realistic and what I want, which may not be realistic. So who knows? His super attack. Before EZA, he just raises his defense for one turn, which is just a 30% raise that expires after that turn. I've then changed it to being a stack, so he stacks his defense every turn, and he greatly raises attack for one turn. So I thought I'd add the greatly raised attack just for the hell of it. Might keep his attack stat a little bit relevant for a little bit longer. His passive before EZAing was 140% at the start of the turn, so I've upped it to 240. Maybe that's a lot. I'm not sure. I'm not a math bloke too extremely, so whether or not that's too much, I'm not sure. The support that he gave to crossover and Giant 8 Power was key 1 and 20% to each category before. Now, if you're on both categories, like Super Saiyan 4 Broly, for example, he would get the 2 key and 40%. I've upped it to 2 key and 30% for both, so if you are Broly or Super Saiyan 4 Gohan or Bardock or whatever it is, they would get 4 key and 60%. Now that seems extreme, but they're really, at the time of recording at least, the only Super Saiyan 4s that are on crossover or Giant 8 Power. I actually know there's Kumba. Yeah, I think Kumba's the only other one on Giant 8 Power and crossover. I very well could be wrong about that. But hopefully we're getting the limit breakers this year for heroes, I hope. So maybe that is a bit extreme with a few new coming, but otherwise he's just 30% support to either of the categories if they're only on one. I've added guard. He needed something defensively because outside of the starter turn and the support, he had the high chance of evading enemies' super attack and countering with tremendous power. I've left that the same. Going off Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, the Tech 1, they didn't increase his chance to counter. I mean, that probably would have gone up to 100% anyway, because I think it's 70. But I kept it at the 50%. I figured I'd do that and then give him something defensive, which he'd never had before. So I give him guard when all allies attacking in the same turn are from the crossover or Giant 8 Power category. Now that's kind of inclusive. So if he's got one Giant 8 Power ally and another one's crossover but not Giant 8 Power, that still activates. So it just has to be one. So if he's got like Super Saiyan 4 Goku, the LR, and he's got God Trunks, for example. I'm not sure what team they both are on, but if they're both on the turn, his guard will be active. Just an example of how it works. Now down here we've got the post EZA stats. These are the only things really that are real of his EZA. This is what we can calculate for every unit that has an EZA, yet there is a formula for this. I went to the Reddit and found it. It's a little bit complicated, but it's actually not too bad once you get used to it. But the way it works is, I think it's, what is it? Not including hidden potential system, it's his max stat minus before. It's weird. There's a multiplier that doesn't make any sense. But anyway, Post EZA, his HP will be 23,000, pushing 24. His attack will be 21,000 and a half, really, and you're looking at about 11,000 neat for defense. Now, this is why I added stacking, because his defense is low, very low. So yeah, stacking defense is going to be extremely important. I dare say what they'll probably do in reality when they do EZA him, which I hope is this year. I really do. I think he truly needs it, and he's the first kind of like pseudo Dokkan Fest that we've got for heroes. So it's kind of unprecedented as to what the time frame is, as opposed to the Awakenings, which are usually a 2-year time frame. We're not, you know, this guy was kind of the first pseudo Dokkan Fest that we got for heroes. But I dare say they'll just make him greatly raise defense for one turn. You know, go from the raised defense for one turn, they'll add just greatly to that. I think is probably what I expect them to do, though I reckon that is probably his best case scenario, so that this can just slowly be alleviated, especially with something like guard or even damage reduction added as well. But yeah, that's my concept for the Super Saiyan 4 Vegito Xeno EZA. As I said, let us know what you think is realistic, or whether or not you think I'm way off the mark, or what you would do even for it. Let me know what you think of the unit in general, and whether you think he's going to EZA this celebration. As I said, if you're new, or you haven't yet already collected that Dragonstone in the bottom right hand corner, make sure you do, and I'll see you next time. Cheers guys, bye now.